tubers, tubettes, if there's any ladies out there. This is going to be a video on how I do fabric interiors. I've done them in the past with different, just material from the fabric store. This is a thank you out to Detroit Muscle 59. He had a video on the way he did this on, I think it's his 36 Ford. Did the interior on it. Let me tell you, this works great. He had this fabric, computer printer fabric. This stuff is awesome. It comes in the whole sheet. It's got a backing on it, so it'll go through the printer. And this is just a video to show how I've gotten it to work and how I get the fabric on my seats. Currently I'm working on the seats for the 49 Mercury, going with the white interior, and then if you can see the leopard print, and it's going to be pretty cool. I'm going to put some piping in here. I'll show how I do that too. I just got up. It's 7:15, so if I look like I just rolled out of bed, I did. Now the way I'm doing this, grab my tape here, show you. Instead of just laying it on there, yeah, it's square. Oops. Just a rectangle, but instead of just laying it on here, I'll show you how I do this. Bear with me a second. Take your panel, a piece of tape, and basically you're making a template. I'll take the tape and just put it on my shirt or my pants just so it's not super sticky. Then we'll just lay it across your interior panel, and just go through and find the outline. Sometimes it could be a bear, like these are kind of, there it is. And I just use a toothpick or just whatever you have as a burnishing tool. Follow the main. There we go. Then I take my X-Acto blade, and we'll go through and lightly trim it up. If you're going to do a piping around it, you can be a little bit off. Doesn't really matter. And then you have the template for your then I take my fabric, and I'll show you how I do this too. This is actually a pretty neat idea. If you can get the tape to cooperate, I'm not left-handed, so. Alright, I'll have to edit this. There we go. As you can see, this is a little bit bigger that's alright because this sits behind the seat once you put it in for the back seat, so you really don't see it. Now, when you peel this backing off, if you were to cut, I've already done the front seat, and I've done this on the cancer build. The problem you have is this material will fray, which is okay. It's going to fray no matter what you do. You can do that. You can see how it's starting to fray. I don't know if you can see that a little bit. But what I'm going to do, if you use the full sheet, you can get in it pretty easy. It's got a perforated spot. You can just tear the whole backing off. But it's kind of like doing the bare metal foil. I just get a tab to where I can get a hold of it. Take my tweezers and give her a little squeeze. Like I say, you can see how it's starting to fray there. You see it frays. Doing this way, I believe, will solve my problem. You see all those frays? Just take you some good scissors. Give them a trim off. Make sure you don't have anything fresh paint sitting around. It'll be fuzzy. Then you can take your scissors and trim your template out. Excuse me. And if it's a little bit bigger than their template, that's fine because, like I say, it'll fray. And once you get it glued on, you'll go back through with a little razor blade, X-Acto knife, whichever you prefer. Make sure it's good and sharp, and just trim little frays off if you have a few left. And now we have our template, and being as I use the hoping this works. Now we have our template. You can see it frayed at the back, which is not a problem because, like I say, this back of this panel kind of hides. And some of them you can trim off with your scissors. Then what I do is I just use an index card. Have a flat paintbrush and this tacky glue. Used to use Elmer's. Detroit Muscle 59 mentioned he uses this. I have to tell you, it's like instant glue. It's a little on the thick side, but it gives you a little bit of time to work. You can thin it out if you want a little bit more time. And then I just Stick it on there. Get a little glue on the brush. And just brush it on the panel where you want the material. And this glue is very forgiving. It dries really clear. So if you get a little bit out, you know, it'll give you a little bit of forgiveness. And what I'll do is half of it. Just lightly lay it down and kind of line it up. And I think that's what I want it. Doesn't take a lot, just rub it and press it. And then I'll roll it back to where I glued. Get some more on here. If you really wanted to, you can do depending on the pattern you use, you'll be able to see the little ridges if you take your nail or burnishing tool and rub through there. And that's my panel. And I think once you put them together, put them in that green car, man, it's going to be wild. But that's how I do that. I'll put up another one here shortly, and you can see how you get a little, know how well this shows up. A couple little frayed pieces. If you have a good sharp razor blade, you don't have to drag it to cut it. I just take a good blade and just a straight cut. And it should peel it right off there. That's it for doing the panels. Do the seats the same way, make a template. This one's pretty easy, it's just a straight across. You get a little bit of curve to it, nothing really major. But that's how I do my fabric interior coverage, and then I just take, I'm done, this glue just washes out with water. Wash it up in the sink, and you're all done. I'll do a piping video, and then I'll get that out so you can see how I do my piping on my seats. I've done that before, and that's it. If you have any questions, comments, rate, subscribe, leave them all at the bottom. Otherwise, everybody have a good day, keep the glue flowing, and we'll see you later.